Today, we are diving into an interesting topic that you've probably heard of, which is data. More specifically, we're going to talk about the different types of data, which are structured, unstructured, and semi-structured data. Let's get started first with structured data. Imagine a neat, good-looking little table with rows, columns, and everything lined up in a perfect order. Sounds like spreadsheet, right? Well, that's basically what structured data is. It's super organized and the format is really well defined. So the organization of structured data is like a 10, but Excel thinks it's October.
That was an excellent joke.
In fact, structured data lives in relational databases or even something simple like Excel. The advantage of this type is that it's easy to analyze. Whatever the tool you are using to do it, you can quickly sort through and make sense of it. Some examples are customer databases that contain names, ages, purchase history, where every information is packed into rows and columns, or even financial records like stock prices or sales data. We'll talk about unstructured data, which looks at a first glance like a jumble of stuff all over the place. Unstructured data doesn't follow any neat rows and columns configuration. It's all over the place, and that makes it much harder to analyze. You'll find this kind of data stored in places like data lakes or cloud storage or NoSQL databases. So, what does this look like in real life? For example, text data like emails and blogs. All of these are packed with info but don't follow a well defined format. Or image and video data, things like medical scans or security footage, which are pictures and videos without a clear structure. Or even audio data, like voice recordings or call center data, which is hard to analyze unless you know what you're doing. To analyze this, we usually need special tools like NLP, that stands for Natural Language Processing, to understand text, or computer vision to analyze images and videos. Now, let's talk about the hybrid, which is semi structured data, which seems like the balance between structure and chaos. Semi-structured data doesn't follow the strict organization of structured data, but it's not completely messy like unstructured data. It has some organization but allows for flexibility. This kinds of data is typically stored in NoSQL databases or even in formats like JSON or XML, and it requires custom scripts or parsing techniques to analyze. One example is social media posts, as there are structured bits like hashtags or timestamps, but also unstructured texts and images. As a conclusion, structured data is that one neat and organized front. It's easy to analyze and understand. Unstructured data, however, is a bit of a mess. Lots of wasted potential, which is kinda like me.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it because they would never understand.
But it requires extra effort to sit through and make sense of. Semi-structured data is a mix of both, with some organization, but room for flexibility.